Little time at my disposal, I'll quickly mention that earlier on you asked me about the conference in Katsina,
yes,
on the northwest. All these issues were identified.
Okay.
The military component and then the soft component, socio-economic conditions, education, population, name them, environmental, of course climate change and all of that. So these are issues that have to be addressed. They all, in one way or the other, impact the communities. I've had the misfortune I would even say, of visiting our border areas. There is a place in Sokoto, I've forgotten the name of that local government, that, oh no, Kebbi I think, that shares borders with three countries. Niger, Benin Republic. In fact, you are in that community. On the one hand, you see Benin Republic. On the other hand, you see Niger. And then, of course, Nigeria. So in such a community where there is no governance, no schools, no water, no electricity. Imagine a situation where a terrorist group now comes to offer them £1 million. I mean, they will go for that. So I don't want to be simplistic and saying it's just being on the radio and TV where you educate. No, we need more than that. Let's identify their traditional rulers. In most of these local governments that were identified by Dr. Murtala, civilian administration has been crippled. Traditional rulers are no longer effective. So let's identify and find a way, just like it happened in Borno State, where the state had to come in to support traditional rulers so that their authority is reinstalled. Let's start with that. And then, of course, through that, we can now start gathering intelligence. We need to know the leadership of this group. We need to know how they are funded. We need to know their weapons acquisition strategies. We need to know the routes they are using, and then we'll go. I'm a bit worried. This morning in one of the international radio stations, the Minister of Defense granted an interview, and he stated categorically that a military operation is about to commence. Now, our advice to him is that nothing wrong with a military operation. Your strategy is first to stem the violence, then reduce conflict, and then socio-economic development. Now, you can only do that, and that's my advice to the Minister of Defense, to the Chief of Defense Staff. If they are envisaging an operation, they must handhold Niger. Niger, they need to reach out to Niger so that a simultaneous operation is also conducted in Niger. If these guys are going to run either into us or away from us. So we must make sure Niger is on board, and Niger also holds them. And if there is an international collaborator, which is likely the case, I mean, the weapon that these guys are carrying are not weapons you just go and pick in the market. So we need to identify who that is and use multilateral channels to make sure that pressure is put on that person who is arming these guys.